Roy Sullivan, the man who survived 7 lightning strikes. Roy Sullivan, an American park ranger, is remembered not just for his work in Shenandoah National Park, but for something far more extraordinary. He survived 7 lightning strikes during his life, earning him the nickname Human Lightning Rod. His life and experiences remain one of the most fascinating stories of survival against the odds. This article will take you through Roy Sullivan's life, his career, and the incredible events that marked his time on Earth. Early life. Roy Cleveland Sullivan was born on February 7, 1912, in Greene County, Virginia. Grew up in a rural area where nature was a big part of his life. From a young age, Roy loved spending time outdoors, exploring the forests and fields near his home. This passion for nature would shape his future, eventually leading him to a career as a park ranger. Roy was one of 4 children. His parents were farmers, and they taught him the value of hard work and resilience. Life wasn't easy in the early 20th century, especially in rural America. But Roy's family managed. They were a close-knit group, and Roy's early years were filled with the simple pleasures of country life. After finishing school, Roy took on various jobs to support himself and his family. However, his heart was always drawn to the wilderness, and it wasn't long before he found his calling as a park ranger. Becoming a park ranger. All in 1936, Roy Sullivan joined the National Park Service and began working as a park ranger at Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. The park is known for its beautiful mountains, scenic views, and abundant wildlife. It was the perfect place for someone like Roy, who loved nature and enjoyed working outdoors. As a park ranger, Roy's duties included maintaining the park, ensuring the safety of visitors, and protecting the natural environment. He quickly became well known in the park for his dedication and hard work. He was a reliable ranger who could handle the challenges of working in the wild, including dealing with animals, weather, and emergencies. However, Roy had no idea that one of the biggest challenges he would face would come from something as unexpected: lightning. First lightning strike. 1942. Roy Sullivan's first encounter with lightning happened in 1942. He was on duty in a fire lookout tower when a storm suddenly hit. The tower had no lightning rod, making it vulnerable during thunderstorms. As Roy was trying to escape, lightning struck the tower and traveled through his leg, leaving a burn mark. The strike also caused his shoe to catch fire. Despite the injury, Roy survived the ordeal and was able to continue his duties as a park ranger. However, this was just the beginning of his encounters with lightning. Second lightning strike. 1969. After the first lightning strike, Roy continued working at Shenandoah National Park without any more incidents for nearly 3 decades. But in 1969, another storm brought Roy face to face with lightning once again. This time, he was driving his truck through the park when lightning struck a nearby tree and then jumped into the truck through the open window. The strike knocked Roy unconscious and caused burns on his head and shoulder. When he woke up, he realized that his hair was on fire. Miraculously, he managed to put out the flames and drive to safety. Once again, Roy had survived a direct hit from lightning. Third lightning strike. 1970. Just a year after his second lightning strike, Roy Sullivan was struck again in 1970. He was standing in his front yard when a storm rolled in. Without warning, a bolt of lightning hit him, causing his body to convulse and his hair to catch fire once more. The strike also damaged his hearing. Despite the repeated incidents, Roy did not give up his work as a park ranger. He loved his job and refused to let the lightning strikes stop him from doing what he loved. However, he began to feel as though something strange was happening to him. Why was he being struck by lightning so many times? Fourth lightning strike. 1972. In 1972, Roy Sullivan experienced his fourth lightning strike. This time, he was working at a ranger station in Shenandoah National Park. A storm had moved in, and Roy was inside the station. Unfortunately, the lightning found him once again. The bolt entered the building and struck him, causing burns to his stomach and chest. By now, Roy's story had become well known in the local area. People started to call him the human lightning rod because of his seemingly magnetic attraction to lightning. However, Roy didn't see it as something special, just considered himself unlucky when it came to storm. Fifth lightning strike. 1973. The fifth lightning strike came in 1973, while Roy was patrolling the park. He was walking along a trail when another storm appeared out of nowhere. This time, the lightning struck him on the head, causing his hair to catch fire yet again. Despite the pain and injuries, Roy was able to find help and was treated for burns on his head and body. At this point, Roy began to fear thunderstorms more than ever before. He would often try to avoid being outside during storms, but his job as a park ranger made it difficult to always stay indoors. He also began to wonder why lightning seemed to be targeting him specifically. Some people believed that Roy had developed a kind of sixth sense when it came to lightning. He could often tell when a storm was approaching, even before the clouds appeared. Sixth lightning strike, 1976. In 1976, Roy Sullivan was fishing at a freshwater pool in Shenandoah National Park when he was struck by lightning for the sixth time. The bolt of lightning hit him on the head and caused burns to his chest and stomach. Roy's hair once again caught fire and he was knocked to the ground. Despite the repeated encounters with lightning, Roy never lost his love for nature and the outdoors. He continued to work as a park ranger and remained committed to his duties, even though the threat of lightning was always in the back of his mind. Seventh lightning strike. 1977. Roy Sullivan's seventh and final lightning strike happened in 1977. He was in Shenandoah National Park, just like the other time. While driving, he saw storm clouds gathering, so he tried to drive away to avoid the storm. However, lightning still found him. The strike hit him on the head and set his hair on fire for the seventh time. Despite the burns and injuries, Roy managed to survive once again. By this point, Roy Sullivan had become something of a legend. He held the record for the most lightning strikes survived by any person, and his story was known far beyond the park where he worked. People were amazed by his resilience and ability to survive such incredible odds. Life after the lightning strikes. After surviving 7 lightning strikes, Roy Sullivan continued to work as a park ranger till he retired. Despite the fear of being struck again, Roy never let the lightning strikes stop him from living his life. He remained committed to his job and enjoyed the peace and beauty of nature, even though it had brought him so much pain. Roy married and had 2 children. His family supported him through all of his strange and terrifying experience. Although many people might have been scared to go outside after surviving so many lightning strikes, Roy stayed true to himself and his love for the outdoors. However, the lightning strikes did have a lasting impact on Roy's life. He became more cautious and developed a fear of storm. He would often avoid going outside during thunderstorms and would sometimes hide in his house until the storm passed. Despite his fears, Roy never stopped loving nature, and he continued to spend time in the park even after his retirement. The science behind Roy Sullivan's lightning strike. Many people have wondered why Roy Sullivan was struck by lightning so many times. Was it just bad luck, or was there something special about him that attracted lightning? Scientists have studied Roy's case, but there is no clear explanation for why he was struck so many times. Some believe that it was simply a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. As a park ranger, Roy spent a lot of time outdoors, which increased his chances of being struck by lightning. Others have suggested that there might be something about Roy's body that made him more likely to attract lightning. However, there is no scientific evidence to support this theory. Lightning is unpredictable, and it can strike anyone, anywhere, at any time. Roy's experiences were extraordinary, but they remain a mystery. Roy Sullivan's legacy. Roy Sullivan passed away on September 28, 1983, at the age of 71. His death was not related to lightning, but was instead the result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Despite the tragedy of his death, Roy's story continues to inspire and amaze people around the world. Roy Sullivan holds the Guinness World Record for surviving the most lightning strikes. His story is a testament to the power of human resilience and the ability to survive against incredible odds. Although Roy considered himself unlucky when it came to storms, many people see him as a symbol of strength and endurance. Today, Roy Sullivan is remembered as the human lightning rod. A man who faced nature's fury time and time again, but always managed to survive. His life story serves as a reminder that even in the face of danger, it is possible to endure and continue living life to the fullest. Roy Sullivan's life was anything but ordinary. As a park ranger, he dedicated his life to protecting and preserving the natural beauty of Shenandoah National Park. But his legacy goes far beyond his work as a ranger. Roy's incredible survival story has captured the imagination of people all over the world, and he will always be remembered as the man who survived 7 lightning strikes.